Hello, everyone. My name is Caitlin Kubley, and today I will be telling you all about the wrongful conviction of Jason Serrano. Our agenda consists of first discussing factual background and a timeline of events for the case. We will then talk about existing research, followed by policy implications, and we'll finish with the conclusion and the reference page. On March 13th, 2018, 30-year-old Jason Serrano was driving in a car with a female passenger in Staten Island, New York, when the pair was pulled over for a broken taillight by officers Kyle Erickson and Elmer Pastrin. The officers later stated in their report how the car smelled like marijuana, so they asked Serrano to exit the vehicle. At the time, Serrano was still recovering from abdominal surgery he received for a stab wound, and due to this, he struggled to exit the vehicle, resulting in Erickson forcibly removing him from the vehicle. Serrano had tried to tell Erickson that he was recovering from surgery, but both officers actually disregarded that. And Serrano also tried to shake his jacket to show the officers that he did not have any drugs on him, but again, they still proceeded to search him. Erickson then stated that he found marijuana in the cup holder in the car where Serrano was located, and police then charged Serrano with possession of marijuana, possession of a controlled substance, resisting arrest, and obstruction of government administration. 3 months later, Serrano was found to have violated the terms of his release, and bail was set for $500. Because Serrano could not afford that, he pled guilty to misdemeanor resisting arrest. Even though the officers both wore body cameras, his attorney never actually received that video. So a few months later, an article came out pretty much that exposed Erickson for turning off his camera in an arrest that had happened a few months prior. And the camera had been off for a total of 4 minutes. And even though this was discovered, he never actually got in trouble for this. So eventually, there were lawyers from the Legal Aid Society of New York who came across Serrano's case and obtained the video of Serrano's arrest. And they actually discovered what appeared to be Erickson planting the marijuana in Serrano's car during the arrest, which kind of went hand in hand with the other cases that I talked about, where he was also caught turning off his camera. But yeah, so they put in a request for his case to be looked at, and initially the DA denied their request, stating that the video was not enough evidence to support their claim that Erickson planted evidence. And his attorneys responded to that in October 2020, basically after they had learned about disciplinary action taken against Erickson in 2018 from a different attorney. Um, and because of this, they stated that the officers, well, specifically Erickson, was not a credible witness. And yeah, so then in November 2021, two really awesome things happened for Serrano. Firstly, DA Michael McMahon dismissed the charge against Serrano, and then Justice Tomiko Amaker vacated Serrano's conviction. So, existing research shows a lot of different things. One, it shows that it is difficult to overturn a conviction, which was discussed in our reading this week. Secondly, there are lots of different factors that contribute to wrongful convictions, some of them being mistaken witness identification, inadequate defense representation, and in this case, police misconduct, which wasn't explicitly stated in the reading, but is related to this case specifically. And there was a sentence that I wanted to include from the reading, and that was that well, not from the reading, but summarized from me from the reading, that there are times when police officers do not provide the defense and or prosecution with evidence that would be relevant to the trial. This is known as exculpatory evidence. And lastly, research also acknowledges that there needs to be more research done on this issue, because what has been done thus far is great, but is just not adequate. So, some policy implications to prevent this from happening again, legislatures need to implement laws that require police to be monitored more closely. Had law enforcement paid closer attention to Erickson, they would not have ever let him be utilized as a key witness in the case. In addition to that, policymakers should also consider enforcing that police departments should enforce harsher penalties for officer misconduct. So, to conclude, what I learned about wrongful convictions from doing this project is that there are more wrongful convictions out there than that we would like to believe. In addition to that, I also learned that not all individuals who are exonerated receive compensation. I did some research to see if Serrano had been compensated, but I could not find anything that stated that he had. And he's just one example of many where, yes, you are exonerated, but what you and your family had to go through, you deserved compensation. These people deserve compensation. And again, just some of them do not receive it, which is really shocking. But hopefully, that's something that can be changed in the future. So, thanks so much for listening. And here's the references for the reading we did this week, as well as the link to um, the case that I did. Thank you so much.